They impound your car some of the time. I've seen that on the news. They also want to put
it, and they will crush it.
They also want to put transponders in all your cars too, and track you.
Look, they're following us every way we go. Yet at the moment, the vandalism and the yobbos on the street corners. Hey, listen. Let me tell you this big story in the news today. The police are now not going. I don't know do you have the term vandalism in America?
Oh, yes. They run around breaking lights, spray painting.
Exactly. Well, this apparently now, according to the police in Britain, is not going to be recorded as a crime figure.
Oh, let me stop you. I'm going to stop you right there. I've had my car stolen twice. Cops won't come out. I've had house broken into. They don't come out, but they're all over the street writing us tickets, raising money off of us for going a couple miles over the speed limit.
Oh, listen, it's the same in the United Kingdom. I mean, if you call the police and you say, I've got an intruder, they don't come. I like to shoot bows and arrows. We talked about this before.
Yeah, but then you're not even allowed to have guns. That's right. They won't come for violent stuff there, but then you're not. But hell, a bow will work nicely, won't it?
Yeah, exactly. And you know, they'll come after me if I was to do that, but I am not allowing my family to be in any kind of danger at all. Listen, I occasionally break the speed limit. Do you?
Yes.
Okay. The week after next, I'm going on what they very kindly allowed me to go on a speed awareness course. You know, when you get a ticket, they put points on your license and they fine you.
Yes.
Well, now, if you're lucky, they say, listen, we're not going to put points on your license, but if you pay us £100, which is about $200, something like that, you can go on a speed awareness course, and we'll tell you what a bad person you are and how you could drive more safely.
No, it's all brainwashing. It's all the state bringing us into communism, bringing us into socialism. And now you spoke out against the old mayor. The new mayor did get elected. You had tens of millions of listeners. I have no doubt that you helped swing the pendulum. And the reason I know that is I've been on probably 50, 60 or more other radio shows, and yours was the strongest out there. I would call most of the others just the simpering, ninnying. Literally, they sounded like castrated nymphs.
People won't stand up to authority. The British do not like to make a fuss. The British like to bow their heads and apologize if somebody says to them, shh, you can't do that.
What you need is a bunch of crazy rednecks over there. I don't know. We're pretty cowardly over here, too. We've been domesticated as well. I think the good life that our forebears gave us has made us a bunch of lazy slobs, myself included. James Whale, thought criminal, on the other side of this quick break. JamesWhaleRadio.com. Check it out. It's censored in the good old Airstrip 1. JamesWhaleRadio.com. Rebirth of the Phoenix right there. This is a quick segment. We'll come back in a long segment, have time to do a host of issues. But James Whale, I know you didn't censor yourself, but you did even on air say, hey, I got to be careful. I got to watch it. I noticed you got more radical the last year or so, listening to the show sometimes online and also being a guest every few months. You can say whatever you want here. What are some of the things you want to get off your chest? Some of the things you didn't say on Talksport you'd wanted to say, or maybe you said them, but you would have said them a little bit differently if you didn't know the censors were creeping about.
I mean, first of all, are you allowed to talk about your commercials or not?
Yeah, I can talk about my commercials, and I say I don't like a lot of them.
Yeah. Well, the last one I heard, Hemp USA. Listen, I had cancer about 8 years ago. And I need to get some of that. But, of course, you can't grow anything like that in the UK either.
Well, now, I like the hemp people. I like that.
Yeah. Now,
I just don't like people selling magic cubes on the show.
Yeah. But, listen, I've said for a long, long time, and they could have chucked me off the air if they'd wanted to. I've said, listen, there's a huge problem with drugs, right? Everywhere, over the world. The police have got their hands full with drugs, and I've said for a long time, legalize them all. Everything. I don't care what you legalize. I don't care what you do.
I agree.
Don't care where you do it, as long as you don't get in my face, as long as you don't break the law, as long as you don't cause danger to anyone else.
Well, drug use goes down when you do that, but go ahead.
Of course. Well, prohibition. How did that work out in Chicago?
It didn't do too well. No,
absolutely. Now, the other thing, I had the former Chancellor of the Exchequer under Margaret Thatcher on my radio show the other night before I got kicked out. His name is Norman Lamont. He has written a book. He's decided that he's going to have a go at Al Gore, the big fat bore, and the global warming issue. And he has brought a lot of proof to bear that this whole fallacy about green issues, global warming and everything else is nothing more than scare tactics by certain interested parties. And these interested parties...
Well, yeah, he admitted that their own government report was staged, and documents have come out that they admit it's a global tax. It's a total...
Yeah. Absolutely.
So what happened?
Here's a fact for you. The planet has not warmed up for over 10 years.
Yeah, we've been cooling.
1998, we started to cool, and we haven't done anything other than that.
Well, I know that the Earth is the lowest level of carbon dioxide ever recorded, going back hundreds of thousands of years. And ice core, we need carbon dioxide. But, the general public's so dumb over here, you can walk up to them and give them the scientific name for table salt or water, and they'll say ban it. They think carbon dioxide is like uranium or something.
Yeah. I mean, we have this wonderful thing, the carbon tax now, and people are encouraged to have the lowest carbon footprint they can have. What does that mean?
It's anti-human. It's a way to regulate and control you.
Yeah, absolutely. How much do you pay for fuel in your car?
We pay, on national average, about $4 a gallon now.
Okay, because I'm now Europeanized, I can't think in gallons, but a liter, how many liters in a gallon? I can't remember.
That's right, you're not allowed to. In fact, shopkeepers get arrested that secretly try to wheel out their old pound scales. That's how much freedom you've got.
Good news is that the European Union said that's an infringement of their civil liberties to be done, so they can't be harassed that much anymore. But you can't find anything sold in anything other than liters or grams or whatever it is. Now, for 1 liter of fuel in the United Kingdom at the moment, I'm paying on average £1.15.
So that's like $4.50. $4.50.
Yeah, that's for 1 liter.
Unbelievable.
87% of that goes to the government.
Good Lord.
How food has risen by something like 25% recently. You can't borrow money. They're foreclosing on mortgages. How are the people supposed to live? The question I have to ask is, why is nobody complaining about this?
Well, now there's more cops out giving tickets, and like I said earlier, I mean, we're literally infested. I mean, there are so many cops in Austin. We are infested.
Well, listen, we didn't have enough cops, so do you know what they did? Because it was difficult to become a British bobby, was quite a difficult feat. You had to be intelligent.
So they bastardized it and hired all these little minions. Stay there. We're going to break. Long segment coming up. But I want to talk about James Whale, what it was like when they told you were fired. Were there any little victory speeches by the media about getting rid of this vicious rabble? We'll be right back.
I am an American Indian. My tribe is Cherokee. My forefathers loved this land. They left it here for me.
All right, we're back live with James Whale, JamesWhaleRadio.com. I really appreciate James Whale coming on with us today, and we'll have him back on a routine basis. In fact, we can do a simulcast sometime if he'd like. James, for those that just joined us, I want to be clear. The British papers are reporting that the government had you basically canned. They were, quote, looking at canning you and then put pressure on the station, and that they then let you go. News Corps is the parent company. Radio presenter James Whale sacked after urging listeners to vote for Boris Johnson. Controversial radio presenter James Whale has been sacked for urging his Talksport listeners to vote for Boris Johnson. His comments during a show on March 20th have sparked a number of complaints to the broadcasting watchdog, OFCOM. Oh, it's their job, not for profanity or sex or any. No. It's, you told the people who you liked. You had free. Oh, this is horrible. Free speech. There are clear rules forbidding broadcasters from election bias. Oh, it's a bias. It's like being racist to have an opinion. And although the OFCOM investigation is not yet finished, Talksport mounted its own inquiry and dismissed the veteran presenter. And then you can go on and look at the picture of this vicious criminal. It says biased Talksport DJ James Whale No, he's not a disc jockey, idiots at the newspaper.